Yo, this is James Lights Out Tony, the one and only. You are tuning into Philly Fight World. You see me? BAM!
There's fight news, there's fight analysis. This is Philly Fight World with your host, Blake Anthony, of course, and Mr. DJ Sooly himself. And we're here to talk about, well, you see the title, you see the name. It's a great time for boxing. Boxing just keeps on getting better. And why do I say that? Because you see all the stuff on the bottom. You see Deontay Wilder making a return, as he would call it, what did he call it? The redemption tour. You got Haney, you got Norman, you've got Jake Paul, you've got Tevin Farmer or Schofield. Boxing is just all over the place. Like I said before, the only one that's lacking really is the heavyweight division. But we'll get there soon as some time. Sooly, what you got for me?
Like always, bro. It's always good to be here, man. Talk about boxing. Always something going on, and it's a great time for it, man. Like always. Good week. Had a good past weekend of boxing. It just keeps coming, man. More to talk about. So happy, man. Happy to see you. Happy to talk about it.
Yeah, always talk about boxing. Jim Lampley, having him on here, how he's tuned himself back into boxing. It just keeps it's taking over, man. UFC is definitely taking the backseat to boxing right now, in my opinion. Like I said, we just got fights keep coming and coming and coming. So where do you want to start off at? It was just so much for the past 2 days. Which one do you want to start with?
Yeah, well, let's start with the most recent one. Let's talk about that card yesterday, that Jake Paul card.
Oh, Chavez Jr.
Yeah, we don't have to talk about that first. Let's talk about that Tevin Farmer Kid Austin fight. Wasn't much of a fight. I thought it was going to be a good fight. But going into it, I think it was of the young kid, if you want to call him Kid Austin, and exploit him, being though he's the veteran. Kid jumped right on top of him. Kid right on top of him, man. Showed the speed, showed the youth, showed the power, and Tevin got caught and couldn't recover. Simple as that.
Yeah, the ref had to put a stop to that because two things was happening. One, he was getting beat down, and I guess his corner and the ref just had to tell him,
"Hey, young man, you got knocked the fuck out."
and that's pretty much what happened. It was the pre before the fight was more exciting than the fight itself. And then the corner wouldn't throw in the towel.
Yeah.
So the ref had he had to throw in the towel, man. Yeah, can't sit there and get beat up. The guy's got a family in the future to go home to the rest of his life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely, man. It's like, after that second knockdown, I think the ref should have jumped in. The ref or his corner should have jumped in because you could see he didn't have his legs, man. His legs was gone. He was barely standing, and to let him go out there again for that third knockdown, man, it just sets up the risk of him getting even injured even more, man. So hopefully he's all right. Local Philly kid. It's just a shame that he had a long career. I think this is loss number 9 now in his career.
Mm-hmm.
You just hate to see him go out like that, man. And that's what usually happens. Father Time is undefeated, as they say.
Yeah, it's a shame that it went so fast. I think Tevin would have liked it to go a little bit longer if he was going to get knocked. He didn't want to exactly get put down that quick. It looks like when you get beat that quickly, it just looks like you were just ill-prepared for a fight or just overpowered. That's, in my opinion, in boxing when that happens. But I don't think Tevin should be defined by his last couple of fights. He's fought a long career. If it was that easy to do that and had the success he's had, everybody would be able to do it. And like I said, no ill will towards Tevin and the loss. one story goes and the other one opens, and Schofield's story is just starting to begin. It's starting to elevate.
Yeah, he's definitely, he's young. I mean, he's been right there. He's had that number one ranking, right there in the tops, for that 135 division. You talk about him, Tank Shakur. His name is right there with him. Right, but behind them. Those are two names, of course. That's I think a lot of people have them 1 and 2, but Kid Austin, man, he's right there, and it's his time. It's his time. It's good to see these young fighters coming in, man. Like, exciting. They got a lot of potential, man. The athleticism in them, and it's his time. Like you just said, it's one door closing, with Farmer, and then we have the next generation coming in. So we got the preview for it last night, and it's here to stay for as long as it should be. So happy for him. I'm happy for Kid Austin. Especially after what he went through, the illness or the supposedly illness that happened before the Shakur fight that made him drop out of that fight. It's controversy on what happened with that, but me personally, I don't think he was ready. I don't think he was ready. He's young, and you can even hear it in his post interviews after the fight, man. He just, I don't think he's, I wouldn't say not ready for this moment, but it's a difference when you thrust in there in front of the cameras now, and now you're the guy, especially when you're that young, and it's just like, okay, how are you going to deal with this success? So he has to learn. He has to learn on the fly. So we'll see.
Yeah, that's part of the game, man. Yeah, like you said, success. It's overwhelming, I think, for a young man or young athletes, period, when you have a lot of success early, and it all comes at you a million miles an hour. Everybody's saying they can make you money, making a star, the same lines that they tell you in Hollywood and everywhere else. And, you got a lot of voices in there, but you always got to keep, the ones close to you and take their opinion, the things that they say personal. So, we'll see how it goes. If he gets his big fights coming up, if he gets it, if he's got a couple more tune-ups, whatever it is, he's a young man. I expect him to win some more fights, and hopefully he'll get the Stevens fight whenever that they work the numbers out on that.
Yeah, and that will be a great fight. Great fight. Hopefully you get the numbers together for that fight, man, because that's a fight to look forward to. So we'll see. We'll see.
You want to talk about Paul and Chavez? What did you think about that?
Yeah. I mean, Jake Paul. I mean, it is with him. I think by this time, expect what to see when you have a Jake Paul fight. They're going to put him in there with somebody that he should handle, and he did. He did what he was supposed to do. I think most people had him winning this fight somehow. However you thought that he was going to win this fight, he won. I mean, it is what it is. I've been in competition with this fight. We'll see. Well, that's an argument. I don't think so. Chavez been out the game for a couple years now. Not in shape. It's like, come on, like I heard one person call it a ongoing circus.
No. You just think so you feel like it's just more of the same with Jake Paul, huh?
It's more the same. It's more the same. Like, come on, like if you're going to be in the sport and you're taking this sport seriously, you gotta fight somebody, a serious opponent. A serious contending opponent. And it doesn't have to be somebody ranked in the top 10. It doesn't. I want to see you fight an active opponent someone who's fighting in competition, active, then we'll see how good Jake Paul is. But as for now, I mean, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is.
Well, he did. He lost when he fight Fury's brother.
Yeah, exactly. So I think his team is being cautious with them and his opponents now. And we'll see. I mean, it's Jake Paul. It's not him winning isn't setting him up for a big title shot.
Right.
And so that's what
It does make it entertaining though. I ain't mad at him, and he always has getting people on the undercards paid and everything. So I mean, it's a good thing. I want to diminish what he's done, but like you said, if he really wants to take it serious, and he's got to eventually, up the competition. Now, I get it. It's two sides to that story. They have to want to fight him too as well. And some people are like, they ain't gonna risk the reputation fighting this guy. So you can take what you can get. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, I think a lot of people will take that fight for the payday, and just to be the one to say I knocked this guy out. You know what I'm saying? To be that person. You got a lot of people in the boxing world, professional boxers that don't like what's going on with him in fighting. I think Virgil Ortiz put out I don't want to say a tweet, but he put out a post basically downplaying him. And I think a lot of boxers feel that way too. Call it jealousy, call it just not, seeing him get the exposure that he does. And as a professional boxer, being in a situation, knowing that you gave up the blood and sweat and you're in this sport, as a competitor, I can see how a lot of fighters not frown upon what he's doing for himself anyway, not with others. Like I said, he's, like we talked about before, he's taking female boxing to another level.
Right.
He's paying them the money that they should be paid. He's helping these other fighters out by putting them on his undercard. So it is what it is. He's helping boxing in that regard. But I personally would like to see him step up his competition if he's taking this thing seriously. So
I think so too. We'll see if it happens. Like I said, it's a two-part system.
Yeah.
What you want? You want to talk about?
But I'm gonna tell you. Let's talk about that Wilder fight that happened Friday night.
What do you think about that?
Wilder looked good. He looked like he got his jab going again. Wilder, he's known for his right hand, of course, but his jab, that left jab he was throwing, and that hook right there, that caught my eye because he kept throwing that hook, that left hook, and I never really seen him throw that hook before, and it was effective, and it was catching. It's fast. It seems to have some power to it. So, I mean, he seemed like he put some little things in his arsenal now. So, he looked good. He looked good. Of course, he's on the back end of his career as well. But as we said about Tevin Farmer, but I think he has one more. I think Wilder has one more big fight in him. Would love to see him go against Joshua. To make that fight finally happen that we all wanted. We all wanted for years to happen. But I think he has one more good fight in him, man. And like I said, it was good to see him back in there. Good to see him back in there swinging. Still has that right hand. The Bronx Bomber's back, so I'm
dropping bombs. Got the stoppage in the fight. Yeah, so it's good. I'm sure it feels really good for him to get a win in the win column after taking L's on and off the canvas. The divorce of his wife, and I guess he's had some mental issues and things like that. He had a lot going on, and that's the aspects that people don't see, that there's other aspects besides the ring that people deal with. So it's good to see him get back in there and do his thing. And I'm looking forward to seeing that. I thought they should have fought, all those guys fought, a long time ago, but, sometimes stars don't align. But Joshua and Wilder, we talk off air about this. They're kind of in the same boat. They're both falling from grace for whatever reason that is. And I think this would help them to, get themselves back, I wouldn't say where they were, but, back in the good graces of boxing media, I'll just say. I mean, we're going to talk about it, period. But yeah, I can't foresee no title runs or anything like that, but it's just good to see them back on the big stage competing again and loving what they're doing. I'm just glad to see.
Yeah. And I know he has a new trainer, Don House. His new trainer, he got rid of Malik Scott, which he was with for a couple years, some years. But, when you get a new trainer in, I always like to see, see if I see a difference in the fighter himself. And definitely, I mean, we've seen I know I've seen the new, like I was saying, the new look that he has, the jab. He was working the jab again. He's working that hook. So, he's been working on something. So we'll see. We'll see, man. Maybe he makes a run. Love to see it. Love to see it. But I'll tell you this. Those fights with Fury, I think, took a lot out of him, man. And, of course, I think it took a lot out of both of them. Fury, too.
Yeah, Fury stories.
Really
Fury stories a little different too, but the same. Mental issues, alcohol.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's the journey, and this is why we love doing. Get to hear those stories. But the road to redemption for Fury was no different than what Tyson's not Tyson, while Deontay is going through. So it's just fun talking about these stories and hearing about them, because Tyson Fury, had to climb back out of the hole he was in too to become a world champion.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the next one down below. That Brian Norman Jr.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, did you hear from his dad, by the way? I know he's going to talk a lot of shit. That's just what the Normans do.
Yeah, we're going to try to get him back on, of course. But I just read I just read today about that fight, November. Happy about that one, man. Excited about that fight. That's going to be a rumble. That's going to be a good one, man. You got Brian Norman Jr., natural welterweight, right now coming off a big victory in Tokyo. And you got Devin Haney. Yeah, you got Devin Haney, man. Mr. Haney stepping up. So, big. Look at that. Ooh, that was a nice shot, man. Not too many people going to stay up after that level, man. But let me tell you, that's going to be a fight. Devin Haney didn't look good his last fight, so we'll see what he do now against Brian Norman.
Well, I think Blair said it the best about the Haney thing after getting beat down by Garcia, Austrian or not. He got beat down. I can't imagine it had that much difference in what happened. It's just Haney was just off his game, period, against Garcia, regardless of that. And then you come back to the point where promoters and all these people are talking about cat and mouse and running and all that stuff. People, like I said, like what Blair said, he said, well, everybody's looking forward to Haney bouncing back, like kind of embarrassed that happened, and come back and whooping ass, show people that that was just a fluke. And instead you did the opposite. You kind of bounced around the ring and played the points game. Now, granted, if that's just the style of fight you are, because Floyd did that for many years, he won on the points. He wasn't really looking for knockouts, but I don't think that's what people expected to see as the comeback fight for Haney. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. Ramirez, that fight in New York with Ramirez, and it was just like you said, it was You know, he could have did a lot more. We expected a lot more in that fight. Um, he ran around the ring, and that's basically what he did. He ran around the ring, man. And you don't expect that in a big time fighter, and fighter his caliber. You don't expect that. I mean, he got the victory, but it probably even with the victory, and of course with Garcia's loss, it just diminished that fight, that rematch. But I guess to his credit, even after that, you know, Blasey Blah win against Ramirez, he said he wanted boots. So he stepped up. He said he wanted boots. That fight didn't go through. He said he wanted Tio. That fight didn't go through neither.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's agreed to fight Norman. So, he had a little, slip up win that we all, criticize him about. But you can't knock him for wanting to get in that ring against some big competition, man. And he's got a huge task in November. This is going to be a fight. This is going to be and Brian Norman is no Ryan Garcia. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But like I said, he's showing some heart, and he's gonna make the big fight. So kudos to him, man, for getting this fight.
Yeah, definitely.
And we'll see what happens.
Yeah, like I said, Norman's dad. It's all about him finally being healthy, and you got a good performance out of him out there in Japan. And I said, those two are just on two different spectrums, Haney and Norman. Well, kind of different, but the same. Like on kind of like a redemption tour. Haney's trying to come back from getting beat by Garcia, and Norman's trying to come off like disappointing performances slated by some, and contract disputes that fell apart. So it's a lot. Like I said, it's kind of the same. They're both trying to redemption to prove, they belong. That's what you do as an athlete. You try to prove you belong with the top class and competitors, whoever you're competing against. And this fight, like you said, is going to be very, very exciting. Unfortunately, it's going to be overseas unless somebody's going to pay for our tickets and stuff out there. We won't be attending for that one.
I know. Come on, man.
Won't be attending that one. But we will be watching it on television, and we will be here talking about it. So,
wow, that's the only thing about that fight that's unfortunate, man. How do you make that fight and put it in Saudi Arabia?
You know why?
Yeah, I mean,
Turkey offered that bread. He wants to get fights over there, and he's trying to build the brand. I get it. And why not do it in his own home over there? He's where he's got support systems and maybe investors. I don't know. There's obviously a plan to keep having these fights over there. So he's helping promoting boxing. So I'll let him do what he's doing. I'm not going to try to criticize it till I see the full picture. But I can imagine that has something to do with it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, dollars. That's what it has to do with. But man, come on, like Brian Norman. Come from Georgia, Atlanta, well, Georgia area. I'm not sure about Atlanta itself. Then you have Haney out in the West Coast, California. I mean, you would have loved to see that in maybe Vegas, somewhere in the States. They could have come up with something, but hey, we'll see. I don't think so. Too many Americans going to go over Saudi Arabia to watch that fight.
Nope. So we'll see. Hopefully, it's going to be some type of spectacle.
It'll be interesting to see, if it's going to be a main event or if it's going to be an undercard or something. Like you said, they have something up their sleeve that they're working on, and we'll see. We'll see. But I'll be tuned in.
Yeah, we'll definitely. We're gonna watch it and talk about it. But like I said, I think Turkey's he's got a plan to build the brand of boxing, and I'm sure they got travel paid for that fight. That's why you notice this got done very, very quickly, very, very quietly. Wasn't no trash talk online. Wasn't no hoopla nonsense. Only one still talking shit is Oscar De La Hoya, but we all know that he's in timeout right now after his debacle with the Garcia Haney rematch. But now he gets to watch his fight go over to Saudi Arabia and fight Norman for a belt.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm sure he'll be. Well, he got the win yesterday with his young upcoming star Kid Austin. So I'm curious to see this week's Clapback Thursday. So I'm sure he'll throw all his eggs in his and one on the Kid Austin basket right now because he needs something.
Yeah, he needs a win right now. He's been taking some L's lately, and I know he's going to talk some. I know he's going to talk some shit about that fight being over in Saudi Arabia. So we'll see.
Oh yeah. Definitely know that. So we'll see what happens. But I'm looking forward. Just like you, I'm looking forward to this fight. Man. Should be a good one.
And he did say after the Norman Suzuki fight, he said that was the fight to watch. And he got that win. We were always talking about that before. We said, what would Norman's next fight be? And here it is. We knew it would be a big one. I didn't think it would be Haney though. But that's a spectacle. 2-0 old guys on the record. One asterisk, kind of whatever. But this is what you want. Are you not entertained?
And two fathers that's
personalities.
Oh my gosh.
Personalities.
They're gonna take over the promotion right there. Just them two, the two fathers, man. So
what more you can want? The drama everywhere. Wouldn't it be nice to get Bill and Brian on here and talk shit live on here? I mean, what else can you get with all these personalities? All I can do is just go back to Maximus and freaking Gladiator where he said,
"Entertained? Are you not entertained?"
That's what you wanted.
Definitely. That's what you want, and that's what we're gonna get. We're gonna get it too, man. So it's good, man. Like I said, that's a good fight for boxing. Should bring a lot of the hardcore boxing fans. It's gonna bring in the general public too, man. To see these guys, they don't have the big names, but their fathers who gonna sell this fight, man.
Oh God, the personalities. It's just the personalities. That part is just as interesting as the fight. Them two shit talkers, them two, they're fathers, and I don't mean no ill will as I'm saying. I'm just saying they just got personality. It's good. It's good for the sport, man. It's good, and it's all in good faith and fun, and they both know what the hell they're talking about, and it's just fun. It's just all fun. I like to say it's just big personalities. And the first person I think about big personalities is was it the Ball brothers' dad? Like the personalities like that. Yeah, they big personalities, man.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward. The lead up, man. So it should be good, man. But like I always say, it's a good time for boxing, man. We got a lot of fights coming up, a lot of big fights coming up. Every month it seems like it's something else. We got the big card coming up in a couple weeks in Vegas.
We'll be in attendance.
Card. We'll be there. Joseph Brown, I think it's pretty much official now that he's going to be on the undercard of that Barrios Pacquiao and co-main event Tim Tszyu and Fundora. So we'll be there. We'll have some coverage.
Hopefully get a lot of interviews. There's gonna be a lot of photos. Try to get a lot of interviews. Me and Sully will probably go live from somewhere on the strip in Vegas. Talk about the atmosphere, people who've never been to experience this boxing thing. I've got some people that, like I said, I talk boxing all the time now. I've got people that I know, they're flying out to Vegas to be a part of this event out here to try to, to see what the hype is all about. And it just keeps growing. And you know what? The first thing I think about now is I think when Jim Lampley, I don't know why this thought popped in my head. Jim Lampley talked about, well, I had to get used to going into the store. People talk about boxing. Well, Jim, I got a question for you. Who do you got in Brian Norman and Haney fight? Who do you got? Devin Devin Haney and Brian Norman. Who you got in that fight, Jim? That's what I'm asking you, Mr. Blow Blah Blow. Who you got in this fight? Oh. I don't know.
Who do you have?
Who
do you have? Who do you have in this fight, man? Tough.
Consensus is going to be everybody's brain first goes to the last thing. That's how everybody's mind usually works. They go to the last fight for both of them, and consensus is going to go right to Norman because of the fashion of the win. And then you're going to look back at Bill. You don't have to say Bill, but Devin Haney, and you're going to think he's not going to have a chance with all the running and stuff like that. But I'm sure the Haney camp is going to have some type of plan coming into the camp. But I do, like I said, I have to go Norman right now. He looked healthy. He looked great. He looked determined. He's fighting with a chip on his shoulder. Like you said, he's in a different headspace than what Haney is currently. I mean, as far as my opinion, as far as boxing, I'm sure he'd have a different opinion if you asked him. Like I said, I'm going Norman right now.
Yeah, I agree. I have to agree. Just off the last performances. Really, I mean, you can see the last two performances when it comes to Haney.
Oh, yeah. Both of them were bad. Yeah, both of them bad.
Yeah. So just and for the simple fact, even though he was they called him a weight bully in his division, him moving up to welterweight at 147, that's a step up for him. You know what I'm saying? So he's never fought a professional fight at that weight. So I shouldn't even say that because with the rehydration, he might come in at 147, after getting weighed at 135, what I mean? So we don't know. But to see him in the ring with a true 147 welterweight, somebody he can't push around, I gotta go with Norman. I
think he's gonna be really aggressive. Like I said, I think he's gonna come in there. He's gonna try to put. You said it off air. I think there ain't no going the distance. Somebody's gonna get put to bed. And I don't think. Will it be a stoppage? And that one's hard to guess. But somebody's gonna get put to bed, and somebody's gonna have to come in and throw the damn towel, as they would say in Rocky. But I think that's the way this fight's gonna be, and I think it's gonna be in favor of Norman, unless something happens, a hand gets broken in the midst of that fight. I don't know. Like all that stuff happens that you don't hear about till afterwards.
Yeah.
That's what I got. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. We'll see.
We got through everything, Sue. You got any final thoughts you want to wrap up?
I think that's it, man. I think, like I said, we had a good past weekend in boxing. I think we covered it all. Got exciting fights coming up, so we're going to stay tuned, man. We're going to stay tuned. Got some more stuff coming for y'all. Keep watching, keep listening, keep following us, and, continue to follow the journey, man, as we said.
Yep, keep continuing to follow us. We'll be here to talk about and keep bringing you guests. We're always talking every day, trying to line up stuff. So always stay tuned. Appreciate all the support from everybody.
Definitely.
Yeah, appreciate that. Sully's we gotta get you to get the books out unless you send them already.
Yeah. So we got 2 books, Jim Lampley books. So we're gonna figure out. We're gonna give them away to followers, 2 followers. We're gonna figure out how we're gonna get these away. Maybe a trivia, some type of.
We'll figure out something.
Yeah, we'll figure. Within the next week, we'll figure out something. But we're gonna give them away, and good books too, man. If you're a boxing fan, of course, if you following us right here, you're a boxing fan. So that Jim Lampley book is a great book, man. It talks about the history of broadcasting, and memorable fights he's been and tuned in. And yeah. I mean, you got over 50 years of telecasts, of announcing. So good books. Good. It's a good read. Good reads, man. Not super crazy long book either.
And you know what? That one clip that everybody loved, the short I put on the page that everybody loved. They loved the story where Tyson told him, he said, "I've missed you." He said everybody loved that clip. That was it's pretty touching. And Jim, like I said, Jim gets really emotional. So you really, like I said, when you're sitting here listening to Jim, even if you're going to read it, or if you want to listen to the audiobook, he's really passionate about what he's doing. He's really passionate about it. And if, like I said, if you're a boxing fan, please don't cheat yourself out of listening to these stories. You need to treat yourself and listen to this 50 years plus of experience, stories on stories. Jim will be back here, I am quite sure. And I hope he gets on the broadcasting team for the Crawford Canelo fight. And you'll hear some more. And it's just exciting time to hear something from him and then watch all this stuff come into play.
Yeah. Great storyteller.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people know how to articulate a story. He's one of the best, in that sports industry that does it. So, and who have done it. So, great book, great person, great read, and we'll continue. We'll continue to reach out to him, man. So, we'll keep going.
Yep.
We'll keep going.
Check out his Gaddy list. They got him up there. Check out Jim's Gaddy list.
Mm-hmm.
He's brought it back. He's back. He's brought it back.
There you go.
What do you call it? Remastered and retooled? It's back.
Remastered, retooled. There you go.
Yeah.
Good to have him back. Good to have him back in the sport. So.
Yeah. Right on time, too. Right on time.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I got, Sil. We'll just wrap this up as we always do with the famous line at the end. It ain't as hard as you can hit. It's as hard as you can get hit. I'm Blake Anthony. This is Sooly. We'll see you guys next time. Tony, take us home.
Yo, this is James Lights Out Tony, the one and only. You are tuning into Philly Fight World. You see me?